Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome everyone. Welcome to the DAWG Call. I'm your host, Amondo Black, and we are live. We are live for this one. You know what time it is. It's Monday. It's the top five SEC rankings, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and knock this one out real quick, but we're going to do it live, do it a little bit different. Then we're also going to discuss the Brian Kelly situation at LSU. LSU, for those of you that don't know by now, LSU fired Brian Kelly last night, and now add LSU to the coaching search along with Oklahoma State, UCLA, Penn State, and Florida. So everyone, get your popcorn ready. We're going to discuss it here on the DAWG Call. I'm your host, Amondo Black, and this is the DAWG Call.
on Florida, bring on Bama, and bring on Texas too. We stay true. The dogs stay true. We're the one with a few. Go dogs off. I'm playing on Florida. Bring on Bama and bring on Texas.
Salute everyone. Salute, 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 salute everyone. Salute. Welcome to the Dog Call. Welcome to the Dog Call. I'm your host, Amondo Black. Salute everyone. Happy Monday, everyone. Well, you know what time it is. It's Monday. And what we do on Monday, we bring you the top 5 SEC rankings. We're going to do week 10. Last week was week 9. This week is week 10. Not too much of a shakeup in the rankings, not too much of a difference in the rankings, but hey, it's crunch time. It is crunch time. We had some very important games last week. Vanderbilt, Missouri. Remember, I told you the winner of that game had a damn good chance, have a damn good pathway into the playoffs. And Vanderbilt, if you look at their remaining schedule, if they can get past Texas, they have a strong possibility of getting into the playoffs. Their 2 remaining ranked opponents left on their schedule is Tennessee and Texas. If they can split one of those, they'll have a good shot at making it into the playoffs. Definitely, if they can win both, not only would they get in there, but they may find themselves hosting a playoff game. But salute to everyone. Salute, 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 salute to your Brooklyn Hood. Salute to everyone. For those of you that will be watching the playback, make sure you hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe this video, everyone. Salute to everyone. Salute. Hope everyone is being safe. We're having some terrible weather here in the Georgia area. If you're in the Georgia area and you're on your way home to work, or if you're on your way to work, please be safe out there. Have flash flood warnings all over the state. The hurricane Melissa, those of you know, is right now currently at a category 5, and it is really doing some damage to Jamaica, that entire island. Salute everyone. Salute. Okay, so let's get into it here. We're crunch time. We're getting down to the wire. Week 10. This season is going by so fast, and it is everything seems to be kind of working itself out. We have some teams that are faced off against each other, that are in the mix, that are in the hunt for the SEC championship. And we're going to start off by, we're going to do a little drum roll here. Going to do a little drum roll here. All right. And these are the 5 right here. These are the 5 with my top 5 rankings for week 10. And I'm going to go over all of them. Vanderbilt, salute to you, Clarence Banks Jr. Salute to you, brother. Salute, salute, salute. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button as you come in the chat here. Salute, salute, salute to you, Clarence Banks Jr. Vandy, huge win Saturday. Huge win. They were at home. That defense stood up. Missouri threw everything but the kitchen sink at them. But they were kicking field goals and, goal line stands. If anything, we found out Saturday about this Vanderbilt team. We already knew they had offense. But what we found out, they have a defense. This defense for Vanderbilt is for real. They have the talent on that defense to shut any team down. They have a decent secondary. They don't allow explosive plays over the top, and they also can stop the run. They definitely can stop the run. They did a great job on Hardy Saturday. They didn't allow any. That's the thing about this Vanderbilt team. They don't allow explosive plays. Kind of remind me of my Georgia Bulldogs, where they're going to make you work for the points. If you're going to score on Vanderbilt, it's going to be 10 play drives, 12 play drive, 13 play drive, 14 play drive, 15 play drive. You're going to have to matriculate the ball down the field to score on this Vanderbilt team. So they are very tough. This is a very tough Vanderbilt team. They are for real. They should not be taken lightly anymore. At number 4, Ole Miss. What can you say about Ole Miss? In the rain, bad, I mean a terrible, windy, rain, soggy weather in Norman. All signs pointed to the fact that Oklahoma should have won this game, because they were getting after Trinidad Chambliss. They was knocking him down. They were hitting him. Hell, there were times that they were hitting Trinidad late. He got right back up, balled out, made plays down the field to Alexander and Lee. Also got that tight end involved. Uh, what more can you say? Lacey had a pretty good day, a decent day on the ground. The thing that I noticed with Ole Miss, the strategy that they used Saturday against Oklahoma that they didn't really use against us, is that they didn't go away from running the ball in the second half. They kept running it, kept running. It seems like against my Georgia Bulldogs, they abandoned the run. When they felt like they couldn't really run the ball in the first half, they got away from that. And they came out in the second half, and it seemed like they were trying to swing for the fences. They were trying to put my dogs away, just end the game quick. Where Lane Kiffin took a different approach Saturday and actually played the long game with Oklahoma, sustaining long drives, make just dink and dong here, dink and dong there, keeping the ball on the ground. A lot of that, the weather may have had something to do with that as well. But great strategy from Lane Kiffin and those Ole Miss Rebels. At number 3, my Georgia Bulldogs. They were off last Saturday, and we did not have a game. We had a bye week, getting ready for Florida this Saturday. Because of what Ole Miss did, Georgia doesn't move. Now, if Ole Miss would have lost, I probably would have moved Georgia to 4 or 5. But the fact that Ole Miss won, that strengthens Georgia's resume tremendously. And you know, in the AP and in the coaches poll, they still have Ole Miss ranked inside the top 10. Ole Miss is currently ranked number 7, which they basically, just 2 notches down from where they were before they lost to my Georgia Bulldogs. At number 2, the Alabama Crimson Tide. What can I say about them? Alabama is, they had a scare. South Carolina had them on the ropes, and some people are saying Bama got lucky. Bama did, but look, one thing about it, Bama did what they had to do to get out of Columbia with a win. Columbia is not an easy place to play. It is very hard, very, very hard to play inside that place. Believe me, I know. Over the years, my Georgia Bulldogs have caught hell going into William Bryce Stadium over the years. But hey, they did what they had to do. They went in there. They, they caught hell from South Carolina. South Carolina, the pass rusher was getting after Bama, but they did what they had to do, and they came away with the win. Now, the cause for concern with Bama is that, listen, I've said it last week, and I'll say it again. In my lifetime, I've never seen a team win a national title that did not have a running game. In all the years that I've been on this earth, I've never known a team to win a national title without a running game. And they, they got to come up with a running game from somewhere. They got to be able to run the ball, and they also got to be able to stop the run. Because when you get into a situation like they go to Atlanta and they meet up with Texas A&M, which I'm predicting they will, that team right there, they have a pass rush. So you're going to have a balanced offense. You can't go play a team like Texas A&M, a defense like Texas A&M, and be one-dimensional. And watch out for Auburn. They have an elite defense, and if Auburn, with them making a quarterback change, if they can keep that game close, they can make it interesting. I'm not saying they could beat Bama. I'm predicting Bama will finish 11-1 and go to Atlanta and play the number one team in the SEC right now. Currently, Texas A&M, they are ranked number 3 in the nation. Bama's ranked number 4. Bama's and Georgia, my Georgia Bulldogs are ranked number 5. Texas A&M, what can you say? What can you say? They did. Listen, they exceeded expectations. I kind of had a feeling they would beat LSU, but I didn't think they would beat them like that. I thought maybe it would be a field goal. Over the years, Texas A&M and LSU have had some Brooks. They've had some games where it have went down to the wire, a field goal or a touchdown, something nothing like what we saw Saturday. That was a beat down. They ran LSU out of their own stadium. And not only did they run them out of their own stadium, they ran the coach out of business, right? They beat LSU so bad that they fired the head coach. So that says a lot. This Texas A&M team is for real. It is for real. The one thing I've noticed about this Texas A&M team is their toughness. That's the difference between this team and the previous years. The toughness. And I think adding Tommy Moffitt to the staff and bringing him in as the strength and conditioning coach plays a huge part. And for those of you that don't really know much about football, let me explain something to you. The players spend more time, they're around the strength and conditioning coach more than they're around the head coach or the assistant coaches. Because after a certain time, the players cannot be around. They can't be around the head coach or the assistant coach. They can only be around their strength and conditioning coaches. So, and Tommy Moffitt to the staff makes a huge difference for this Texas A&M Aggies team. And for those of you that are sitting back saying, hey, oh, they're going to mess up, they're going to slip up, they'll eventually lose, they'll lose to somebody. Keep waiting. This team is for real. They're big, they're tough, they're physical, they are damn good in the trenches. They are stout in the trenches on both sides of the ball. They have an amazing pass rush. They can get after the quarterback, and they have a damn good secondary. LSU receivers were getting open in the first half, but in the second half, they were getting completely shut down by those Aggies DBs. This team is for real. This team is dangerous. I think from my eye test, from what I'm seeing, and I'm watching SEC games all the time, and from what I'm seeing from my eye test, Texas A&M has the best team in the SEC, hands down, and it's not even close, in my opinion. So, you guys tell me, what do you think? Hey, what is your opinion? Leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think? Who do you have in your top 5? This is what I have. I have Vanderbilt at number 5. Vanderbilt strong, and all 5 of these teams have a damn good shot at making the playoffs. I think Texas A&M pretty much, if they can just continue winning. They're undefeated. They're unblemished so far. They can go in Atlanta 12-0, lose that game, and still host the first round playoff in the first round. So, but like I said, from my eye test, I think this Texas A&M team could beat any team in the conference right now. And after watching what they did to LSU, I think they created some distance between them and everyone else. They kind of remind me of my Georgia Bulldogs in 2022. That's who they kind of remind me of. This Texas A&M Aggies team. They're physical, built physical, toughness. They get after the quarterback. their DBs and linebackers can tackle very well in space. And on the offensive side, they don't make mistakes. They do not make mistakes. They don't turn the ball over. They don't beat themselves. Clarence Banks Jr. said Ohio State, Bama, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, Mississippi. Ohio State, Alabama, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss. Well, you leaving Georgia out, so you must be a Bama fan. You Bama fans, listen to me real good. Hey, you don't sleep on Georgia. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Georgia fan. Do not sleep on Georgia. Don't sleep on Georgia. Do not sleep. Let's not forget. Let's not forget that Georgia was one missed catch away from being undefeated. Georgia could easily be undefeated right now. If Taylor would have caught the ball, because Gunner put it in his hands. Had he caught the ball, that game would have been over with. That game would have been over with. Or if Kirby would have, instead of handing the ball to Cash Jones, if they would have gave it to McCray, or if they would have gave it to Chauncey Bowens or Nate Frey, anybody else other than Cash Jones, this is a totally different conversation. The conversation would be Texas A&M and Georgia. But that's, like I said, that's neither here or there. Georgia lost that game. Bama won. And I think, Bama and Texas A&M will play for the SEC championship game in Atlanta. But don't count Georgia out. Because remember now, Ohio State didn't play for no Big Ten championship last year. Ohio State did not win a Big Ten title last year. And what happened at the end? They won a national title. So that's that, But these are my top 5 for week 10. See, one thing about me, when I give the top 5, I don't do it off of emotions. I do it off of facts. And for anyone that would disagree with my top 5, hell, if you look at the coaches poll and the AP, they pretty much agree with me. They pretty much agree that Vanderbilt is the 5th best team because Vanderbilt is ranked in the top 10. Ole Miss is ranked in the top 10. Georgia's ranked in the top 5. They're at number 5. Bama's at number 4. And Texas A&M is at number 3. So Clarence Banks just said he has butterfingers. I wouldn't say that. So according to your logic, Jerry Rice had butterfingers also. Because I remember Jerry Rice missing a pass just like that in an NFC championship game against Dallas years ago. That cost the 49ers a trip to the Super Bowl. I remember Randy Moss missing a pass like that in the NFC championship game against my Falcons, which cost the Vikings a trip to the Super Bowl. He also missed a pass in the Super Bowl when he was with the Patriots. So some of the best have dropped passes, in their career. So, Taylor Green is a good, he's a 5-star. He was highly scouted. Hell, Bama wanted him when he was Bama wanted him bad, but he chose Georgia. So that happens. So Ryan Williams, he has more drops than Taylor does. And most Bama fans will tell you that. He's been dropping the ball a lot. A lot. Thank God for Horton. Horton coming in, picking up Horton has really cut, because I think without Horton, you guys would be in trouble. Without Horton. But that's neither here or there. I'm going to give you your props. Right now, you're number 2. You're the 2nd best team in the SEC. We're not going to forget Tallahassee. ESPN might be trying to sweep Tallahassee under the rug, but I'm not. We don't do that here. Tallahassee happened, and it's on the record happening. Ohio State and Alabama for a champ. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see, brother. Hey, you got one thing about y'all Bama fans, boy. Y'all think Bama can beat anybody. Y'all think Bama could beat anybody? I bet you if I was to ask you, if somebody asked you who would win between Bama and the Philadelphia Eagles, you would probably say Bama could beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But that's Bama fans. They think they can beat any team on the planet. That's just how Bama fans think. Me, I'm realistic. I'm realistic. But I don't know if y'all getting that far without a running game. I'm just being realistic, and I damn sure don't think you could get past the Aggies without a running game. You'll get to Atlanta, but if you beating the Aggies without a running game, one dimensional, that's gonna be a tall order, brother. That's gonna be a tall order, a very tall order. I know you don't remember. You don't want to remember. No Bama fan want to remember it, but it happened, brother. It happened. It happened. It sounds good to say you don't remember it. That sounds good, but in real life, it happened. It happened Labor Day weekend. It happened. Now, on to the next subject. Uh, like I said, I'm just gonna go over this LSU situation. Uh, Brian Kelly is out. So those of you know, Brian Kelly is out. So LSU has a vacancy now. Lane Kiffin, before that happened last night, I had already had penciled Lane Kiffin in to be Florida's next head coach. But you know what, though? After that happened, I don't know. I don't know. I could actually see a scenario where Lane Kiffin ending up at LSU. Think about it now. It's a shorter commute from Oxford to Baton Rouge versus going from Oxford all the way to Gainesville, Florida. You got the entire, let's do the tail of the tape. Okay. So you got the Florida job, you got the LSU job. Okay. So you got LSU right here. You have the entire state of Louisiana. The entire state of Louisiana. And the thing about those kids that grow up in the state of Louisiana, their dream is to play for LSU. They grow up LSU fans. They love LSU. Just like everybody in the state of Louisiana grow up Saints fans. Those kids that grow up in the state of Louisiana, you can guarantee two things you can guarantee. Number one, now three things you can guarantee. Number one, they love gumbo. Number two, they love their Saints. And number three, they love their LSU Tigers. So you can have the pick of any talent in that state. And if you know anything about the state of Louisiana, it puts out tremendous high school talent. They put out some great high school talent. You have some NFL Hall of Famers that originated from that area down in Louisiana, the state of Louisiana. That's the advantage of being at LSU versus Gainesville. Those kids in Florida, they grow up, they could be Ohio State fans. Because the thing about Florida, people come from all across the country and move to Florida and settle down to Florida. So you could have a kid that grew up in Florida but could be a Bama fan or a Georgia fan or a Tennessee fan. You could have, those kids, they grow up in Florida. There's no guarantee that you can get them to come to Gainesville. You have to compete with Miami. You have to compete with Florida State. Now you have to compete with South Florida, Central Florida. Central Florida is in the Big 12. They're in the Power 4 conference. You have to compete with South Florida. It's just so many schools that you have to compete with. Where if Lane Kiffin chooses LSU, you got the entire state of Louisiana to yourself. And just Florida, just it's like the expectations are higher at Florida than it is at LSU. LSU expectations are high, but you have the resources. The resources are a lot better at LSU. Because the thing about Florida is turning into a basketball school. The money is going toward the basketball program, baseball program, soccer program, football program, where LSU football is king down there. So, in my opinion, If I'm LSU, I'm not wasting any time. I'm going after Lane Kiffin. I'm definitely going after Lane Kiffin. I'm breaking the bank. I'm backing up the Brinks truck. I'm doing whatever the hell I got to do to get Lane Kiffin down to Baton Rouge. My second choice, if you can't get Lane Kiffin, my second choice would be Eli Drinkowitz. I like what he's done in Missouri. You gotta remember, before this man got to Missouri, that program was in the toilet. It was in the toilet. That program was just terrible. You know, for you have Missouri on your schedule, you knew it was going to be a 30-point win. That's how it was before Eli Drinkowitz came there. Eli Drinkowitz came there and made that, he brought toughness to that program. And he's a hell of a recruiter. He's a damn good recruiter. So he would be the second choice. I'm hearing Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman, I don't think you can get him from Notre Dame. I would be very, very surprised if he leaves Notre Dame for LSU. I think that move would make no sense. You're at Notre Dame, not that much pressure at Notre Dame. You're in a great situation at Notre Dame. When Notre Dame goes to the playoffs, they don't have to share revenue with anybody. There's money at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame has its own network deal with NBC. You're not a part of any conference. You're not tied to any conference. I look at that Notre Dame head coaching job is equivalent to being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys or being the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers or being the manager of the New York Yankees. It's just Notre Dame is still Notre Dame. I know they haven't won a national title since 1988, but they are globally known. Notre Dame is a global brand. And if I had to pick an America's team for college football, it would definitely be Notre Dame. Notre Dame would be America's team, the college football version of America's team. So, I don't think if he did it, I wouldn't understand the move. I wouldn't understand. I don't understand. I think he should stay at Notre Dame. But hey, you never know. I didn't think Brian Kelly would leave Notre Dame and go to LSU. Sometimes it's not good to chase the bag. Sometimes it's not good to chase the bag. If I could have my way, everybody stay where they are at. And LSU go find a new fresh face to bring in as the head coach. But LSU, to make this move that they made, getting rid of Brian Kelly, they have no choice but to make a big splash. They have to make a big splash, and they have to go get a big fish. And what I mean by a big fish, I mean at the top, Lane Kiffin, then Eli Junkolich. I don't think they could get Marcus Freeman. I really don't. I think that's wishful thinking. I'm hearing his name being floated around, but I think that's wishful thinking. I don't see him leaving Notre Dame. And why would he? He has a great situation there. Did Deion Sanders get Deion Sanders out of Colorado? His health, Clarence. And I love Deion. I'm a huge Deion fan, man, but the man's health. The man's health. If you're gonna invest money, that kind of money behind somebody, it got to be somebody that that's going to be around for the next 10 years. This next person that they choose, Clarence, it has to be somebody that they can lock in for the next 10 years. And I don't think he'll be in coaching for the next 10 years because of his health. Would he be able to come in and do great things for that program? Hell yeah. I think he could go to any program. I can actually see him at Florida State before I could see him at LSU. But if I was the AD, I would, what would give me pause about hiring him as the head coach is his health. is what's the deal with his health? Because it seemed like even going back to Jackson State, his days at Jackson State, he has had health issues, one after the other, health issues after health issues after health issues. And sometimes, in my advice to him, he might just want to step away from the game of football altogether, coaching, broadcasting, and everything. Just step away and take care of his health. Your health is more important than football. Football is always going to be there. Football was here before we came in this world. It's going to be here after we leave this world. So that would be my advice to prime time. But if I'm LSU, if I had to give any advice to the athletic director at LSU, I ain't wasting no time. I am going after Lane Kiffin. That's who that would be my number one choice there. So I'm gonna get ready to get on up out of here. I just wanted to come on here and chop it up with you all live and do the top 5 rankings live. It's rare that I get a chance to go live on the DAWG call, but I just I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it today. Go ahead and do a straight live live stream, direct live stream, so I could engage with the chat. So salute to everybody. For those of you that are stuck in traffic or on your way home from work, be safe. For those of you that are on your way to work, please be safe. The weather is terrible here in this area, and just got to be safe out there. It is wet. The roads are terrible out there. The wind is blowing pretty hard. This hurricane Melissa is something serious. It's at a category 5. So everyone, these times we have to stay prayed up and just be safe and keep an eye out on your surroundings, everyone, because the roads are dangerous today. So everyone, make sure you hit that like button. For those of you that will be watching the playback, make sure you hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe this video, and leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think? Do you agree with the top 5? Do you agree with the top 5? Here's the top 5 once again. Got Vanderbilt at 5. Got Ole Miss at 4. Got UGA, my Georgia Bulldogs, at number 3. Got those Alabama Crimson Tide at number 2. And got those Texas A&M Aggies at number 1. Do you agree or do you disagree? So everyone, thank you all. This is it for me today. I knocked out 2 videos today. Did one pre-record and this one live. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Peace and blessings. Be safe out there in this wet weather, hurricane conditions. And like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, always and forever, no matter what, win, lose, or draw, or even a bye week, it's always going to be go dogs. Sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. Everyone enjoy the rest of your Monday. Monday to you, brother. The dog hole with a one will of you. The dog stop on the title run. We keep pushing forward.
bring on Florida, bring on Bama, and bring on Texas too. We stay true, the Dogs stay